have you watched any Robert Redford movies?
I've seen the Butch Cassidy. Yeah.
Because I guess there are people.
You've never seen The Day of the Jackal?
No.
Never saw that.
What about?
I think I'd said it on a past episode, but like I'm really I'm trying to be more honest about this. Like I'm trying to actually say what movies I haven't seen.
Yeah, instead of being like,
of course I've seen
that was
Godfather
good reference.
2. Yeah.
Good poll.
But that's a hard one not to have seen because he's been in so much. A few. What's the one? The one about the Nixon break-in with the
Watergate?
journalist.
Oh, the President's Men.
All the President's
That's
Men.
a good one.
No.
Yeah.
I know it. I know the title.
Movie.
You're lucky because that means you have so many good movies to watch.
But I won't.
You should though.
Okay.
Like that's. I guess like Nicole and I tried to go through a whole like the entire Scorsese catalog during the pandemic.
Classic.
We were like, we're gonna watch all of this, and we watched like a couple of the deep dive ones, but then I just like lose.
They're not
focus.
that good.
You don't like Scorsese?
No, I mean it's like
like
they're not easy watches. They're good films, but like, it's like you don't really want to watch Taxi Driver a bunch.
Yeah, I did actually. If I was in a certain mood though, like there were periods of my life where I'm actually glad I didn't find Taxi Driver because it may have become like my whole
thing.
self.
Yeah, I'm a Taxi Driver guy.
Yeah, like,
poster in your room, etc.
Just every once in a while, just flicker my eyes.
Yeah,
do
he's
dips
weird.
on stacks of books.
I'm on a Scorsese kick. So
are you right now?
No,
just in general.
being you.
Sorry.
Yep.
What's your favorite?
Excited.
Maddie, what's your favorite film?
Oh, favorite film ever? Fucking, I don't know. That's a tough one.
It doesn't have to be like good. You can just like a film that you would put on
like every
over
day,
and over
Austin
again.
Powers 1.
Austin Powers 1.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I rewatched that
That's
recently.
one where you're like new thing found.
Holy shit. First of all, I mean, it's a banger, like all the way
Banger.
through.
Every
One of the
line.
more quotable movies of
Line
all
for
time.
line.
And every scene, you're like, oh shit, this scene. Oh shit, this scene.
Yeah,
Like every
yeah.
one is just
It's
like,
good.
holy fuck.
Yeah.
But that opening musical number, like being how they presented the movie.
Yeah.
Is maybe I mean, I'm no filmmaker, I'm no critic, but it just seemed incredibly ambitious and also fucking unreal. Like the way that
Insane.
they made it happen and just coordinated it. I don't know. I just
Old school outfits and stuff.
Isn't
so cool.
it insane
So cool.
that Mike Myers is like not a big deal anymore?
I mean, he's doing Elon on SNL. So what's a
Oh,
big
is
deal
he?
to you?
Okay,
What's a big
okay.
deal to
I'm
you?
sorry, my
sorry.
bad.
I'm a Saturday Night fan. No, I'm kidding.
No, I know. I know.
Yeah, it is weird. I've thought that before.
Yeah, like he was
He did his
probably
little-
one of the biggest top 5 actors in the world.
Top of
and
the
now,
world.
like, I don't think he did like
Does
some
he do-
real bombs.
Does
he
he
did
do
the
projects?
Love Guru.
Is he like a project guy, like Jim Carrey painting?
He's so apparently he's like really tough to work with in the sense that he's a real deal artist, man. He has a vision and
I've heard that too.
he will execute it with or without
Yes,
you.
I've heard he's serious.
So
Kinda like Matthew Broderick vibes a little bit.
Matthew Broderick.
Is Broderick hard to
Ferris
work with?
Bueller guy.
Oh yeah.
He's like very serious.
Is he?
Yeah. Have you ever seen him in the city?
No.
Dude, that poor guy. I guess he has like some sort of back injury from mowing down a child with his car. Or something.
It happens.
It was an old lady.
It was
happens.
an old lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was him and Jennifer Grey.
No shit.
Yeah, the big sister from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Yes,
And also,
yes.
oh, that's right. She was so hot. She
So hot. I wish
she
she wouldn't
lopped
have
off
fixed
the nose.
She should not have fixed the nose.
I know. I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It was really perfect.
Yeah.
She,
So cute.
I watched Matthew Broderick. I saw him on like East 10th Street, and he was literally like,
I guess
trying
him
to
and
lurch his way
Sarah.
down the street.
Rumor was that him and Sarah Jessica, whatever is it,
Parker.
had an open relationship.
Oh.
I bet that
'Cause
benefited her more than him.
He was banging.
He's like a freak.
I was watching and Just Like That, and then so it made me go back and watch Sex and the City.
Oh,
and
nice.
I cannot believe I did not clock her because she was so hot.
She's
in
hot.
Sex and the
Her
City.
body's insane. Carrie Bradshaw or
Carrie Bradshaw.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
No, all four of them are
but
hot.
like 2000, if I would have
Yeah.
known that, I would have like.
Yeah, but she never got naked on the show.
That's
That's why I
okay,
didn't
dude.
like
I know.
her.
I would crank that.
I was I even
Samantha.
liked the redhead better because every once in a while
Miranda.
she'd show
She would show tits.
rosy nip.
Yeah, Rosie.
rosy
Pink
nip.
as fuck.
I mean neon,
They were all, listen,
like a diner sign.
we should change the topic unless you want me to talk about mine. Diner sign is correct.
Like a
Neon, blinding.
I could hear him buzzing.
Yeah.
just
Open.
white nipples.
They're all hot though, the four of them.
Yeah, no,
Four
but
girls.
I something about her did it for me
She
in
has
a
a
special
perfect
way.
body.
I think I maybe have a
Perfect
thing for
body.
the Jewish ladies back.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like a high school thing because I I was into the Mediterranean gals.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I had a Greek girlfriend.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Greek's hot.
It is, yeah.
Greek's a good one.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
hairy.
I
but-
feel like
Yeah.
we forget about the Greeks, don't you?
yeah.
We
In what
don't
they've
ever
given to us?
No, but like we talk about like Italian people or like trying to think of other
It's always, like-
ethnicities. And Greeks were always kind of like, yeah, run your diner, you know, like
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get a pass.
we don't really like consider them. I don't know.
They're pretty. I don't know. They're kind of Italian in the way.
Yeah.
Familia.
Mediterranean.
They have
Family.
usually the grandparents are on the bottom floor.
Opa, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And
I roofed with my Greek girlfriend's father for a
Ooh,
summer.
wow.
I worked for his company. And he would take off his shirt, but he was wearing like a
Another
shirt.
shirt,
Like, it was
yeah.
fucking crazy. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
No
and it would,
sunscreen.
dude, no sunscreen at all. Never would even consider it. But the sweat wouldn't even like come off his body. It
Mhm.
would just kind of like
Wick.
bead
Yeah.
and raise to the
Mhm.
top of
That's
his.
beautiful.
Mhm.
It kind of was like sexy in a way,
Yeah.
but like morning dew,
Yeah, yeah.
You're
but
hot.
just
See the
Greek
drops.
chest wet.
You're just Irish,
Irish, a little Scottish.
little Scottish.
Irish, though.
That's mainly what I am.
Yeah,
Is like Scotch Irish with some Northern European mutt.
yeah.
What are you, just
Pale.
Irish?
Just and a
Well,
little bit of Brit rape.
Okay, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, both of my families are from, I think, both are from County Mayo in Ireland,
Mhm.
which means that we just
Inbred.
dipped into
Oh,
each
yeah.
other all up and down. Yeah, we created the current Pornhub fad.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, stepsister.
Stepsister.
Actually, my sister.
Come on in.
Stepsisters.
Yeah. Oh, my sister.
porn. She's stuck in a cow, so I
Oh,
fucked her.
what do I do?
She was milking a cow, and I saw her.
Do you ever watch the stuck porn and you're just like, come on, you got to get
More
out. You got to get more stuck than that.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
not stuck.
agreed.
Yeah.
Like
I
their
watched
whole
you-
leg will be out. They're like, get me out.
yeah, they're under a bunk bed. It's just
Oh my
like,
God,
get
there's
out
no
of there.
room.
I watched jujitsu porn the other
Okay.
day.
oh yeah.
That was
So
cool.
they were fighting and then they fucked?
Yeah, so it's like it's a little bit of just grappling, and then they'll like pause for a second and kind of begrudgingly have sex, and then do some sort of
Right.
other
Guy on
Kimura. Guy on all
Yeah,
just dudes.
yeah. Trainer was a dude as well.
It's the only way to watch it, but it is funny. Like you could see that I watched a guy kind of get rolled. Like I
Mhm.
think he wanted to keep having sex for like a second or two longer, and
Yeah.
the woman got him.
Yeah.
And you could see him like kind of trying to decide whether
Yeah.
he was pissed about that or
It
whether
should
he
be
should keep
that
fucking.
jujitsu porn should be that the woman, if she wins, keeps the seed and has the baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's
You need like a little reward at the end.
No,
What
I
are
don't
the
even
stakes here.
But like you get to keep his his equity,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
or maybe
And
just even keeping the seed is just that's like a win. You know, maybe you're on birth control. It
wouldn't
doesn't
that be
matter.
cool?
But if you
But,
could
you know,
clench,
yeah.
if you
Oh,
could,
yeah.
That's
grab.
what I was. That's
Yeah.
what I was kind of going for.
Yeah.
It was. Wouldn't it be cool as a woman? Is if you could like receive a load and then just store it in like a back vending
Oh,
machine
yeah, that'd be great.
somewhere and just be like, I can deploy this
You
at
think
any
that'd be cool?
moment.
That'd be
I think
great.
that'd be awesome.
We should have that.
Yeah.
There should be some sort of
That's we
way
should do
to
that. Yeah, you guys
fix
should have little
everything going on here.
storage. You guys should have storage.
Yeah.
Load storage.
Like-
Cryo
storage.
storage.
Like, someone gives you like merch and you're like, oh, I'll put this away
I
for
bet there's an animal.
your friend gives you like a hoodie from their festival. You're
Oh
like,
my
Thanks.
god, that's
Store it
the worst.
away.
I
3
love
years
so
later,
many.
I
oh, look at
love
me
it.
too.
It really proves that I once did comedy. All
Yeah.
the merch that I'm
yeah.
collecting is for when I eventually move to the woods and I have to tell my kids, like, no, you weren't really sentient yet.
Right.
But
It's
I did
just
it.
my
See
exercise
this?
clothes.
New
I
York
just have
Comedy Festival.
1,000 sweatshirts that I only exercise in. I never
Mhm.
wear them out publicly.
Yeah.
Exclusively exercise. I have
Um,
5 million Wild and Out shirts.
oh yeah,
Oh, I
of course.
bet.
I'm always afraid to give this stuff away because then it's going to get back. Someone's
Yeah,
at Goodwill.
I
like,
know
whose
that
is
feeling,
this?
yeah.
Oh shit!
You
Does it
still-
have like official cast?
Like, I have a lot of stuff like Maddie with the fatty, Maddie. I wanted to give. You ever get like a gift from? You ever do like something and then in December they give you something?
Mm,
So MTV sent me Fully Loaded, Bert Kreischer's thing.
yeah.
Sent me one of those digital photo frames,
Yeah.
and I almost gave it away. And then I opened it and it was loaded with photos of me
Yeah.
from the festival and me and Stavi and me and Bert.
Yeah.
If I gave that away, someone on TikTok would be like, I just found this weird picture frame with photos of Bert Kreischer and Maddy Smith.
Did you see that one girl in the vintage store that found some Asian girl's trophies?
No.
Like, it was one of those things of like, if you're like, I don't want to.
Was she in Asia?
Come up with a name because it'll be a
Ding,
guess.
ding, ding.
She was an Asian.
I did it for him. You won't get canceled. I can.
I have nothing to take. That should have been me. I should have hurt Locker that.
Just do
you
it.
got too much to lose,
Just do
man.
it.
Are you still on Wildin' Out?
You know, I am, but I don't know what's going on with. I am on it. Yeah. You can look at the official season.
Well, I don't know, like,
I don't know what's going on
schedule.
because cable TV is not
Right.
anything right now.
yeah.
So the strike happened.
But you guys
And
are like
then-
Black Ridiculousness. Like
We are.
you're on.
Yeah.
We're like
all
jokers,
the time.
like all the
Yeah.
time. But I think Nick might be trying to buy the show back from like
Uh-oh.
Viacom,
Viacom,
Paramount, CBS
Put it
because
online.
He better be careful.
we
You
found-
heard when Cosby tried to do that.
He tried to buy NBC.
Tried to buy NBC.
he
That
did.
Yeah.
Was,
Oh.
Cosby did try to buy NBC.
He did.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was the conspiracy, was that he was gonna buy NBC, and that's why they got 60 women to accuse him of
That's,
the same.
No,
yeah,
I think
all
that-
60
I
of
think
them.
the buying NBC
Yeah.
thing was like when they wouldn't renew it back in the day. That's what I
Okay,
think
old
it was.
school.
I don't think it's real.
Okay.
I don't think he would ever have the money to buy NBC. That's
that's
like
a big buy.
That's in the billions.
It's a big buy.
That's like a Bezos buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was part of the conspiracy where they're like, no, that's why they're destroying this good man.
Yeah.
He was gonna buy.
You can see there's some
NBC.
history here, and people are very protective of that brand.
I just was thinking about, I wrote for 6 seasons or 7 seasons of Ridiculousness.
Nice.
And
I thought
it
you
was
were gonna
all
say
writing.
the Cosby Show.
It was all
Yeah,
non-union.
Yeah. Non-union, so you were like a creative consultant.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
I'm thinking back now, like because they just unionized last year.
Yeah, they
like
did.
the writers like struck
Really?
and like
Oh, yeah,
publicly
yeah,
like
yeah.
outed
Was
Rob.
that part of Rob Dyrdek's optimization model?
Yeah,
happiness is something you can find.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah, his podcasts are like, it starts with one idea, and then it's just get
he's
image,
like
of,
doing that for years.
image of the field with like
It's
the word
crazy.
idea.
Yeah, he would
Manifest.
show up like and in like a different like $400,000 car every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd
Yeah.
be like, "All right, guys, let's get to work." And you're like, "Dude, you're like 3 hours late because you were skateboarding, literally."
Skateboarding.
Yeah.
And always like a brand new sweatsuit,
Yeah.
like a light pink.
I remember it was like a
sweatsuit.
big deal. The biggest like shift of energy in the whole thing was when his DC contract expired,
Yeah.
so that he could start wearing Nikes. It was like
Let's
huge.
go.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
he
was a
must have
big
been
deal.
pumped.
Yeah. First
But I was
day.
just thinking about if I would have been union, I'd be still. The residuals would be so insane.
Yeah.
Right.
With how much
Absolutely.
they play that show,
I get residuals from Wild and Out through SAG.
they must be great.
It's great because I've
Yeah.
been on like 50 episodes.
That's
Oh,
excellent.
that's
So even if
awesome.
you get like 100 an episode, all of a sudden it's like boom, boom, boom,
That's
boom, boom.
excellent.
That's so good.
Pretty crazy.
That's
Although you
great.
have to stay in SAG.
Every
So-
now and again, I'll get a sweet $17 check from Philosophy Australia.
Philosophy?
Yeah, MTV's,
What is that?
MTV's
I never even heard of that.
Philosophy.
And what was
It
it? Kind of ridiculousness playing fail.
It was more or
videos?
less the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, back
Talking
in
Head.
that day.
Yeah.
And MTV was really really cultivating talent in the New York City comedy scene. And they had a ton of panel shows. I was on Jeff Dye's Money from Strangers.
Of course.
Did that.
Yeah.
The original Impractical Jokers.
Yeah,
it's
Which
good.
he'll remind every publication that
Yeah.
ever asks.
Yeah.
That was
And
good.
then Philosophy was another one where it was just Hassan Minhaj was the host.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah, I remember
it was
that.
hilarious.
Let's
he was
go.
like pre-political anything.
Yeah,
His
just
hair
him.
was
Yeah.
him with like rosy cheeks, just
Yeah.
being like, I'm
Yeah, hey everybody. You ready to fail? Fail funny though.
I auditioned for what's the Guy Code?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the whole time at my audition was just like laughing at how ridiculous it all was. And
It's-
I
yeah.
thought I killed it. And
Yeah.
they were like, this is
No,
not what
Yeah.
we
they
want.
wanted zero awareness. I was a writer for that, or a creative consultant.
Yeah.
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 for
please.
that fine
Yeah.
program. And man, it was tough to come up with Why Farts Are Weird Part 3.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we did it. We dug deep and we
that's
did
me
it.
when my blah 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 blah.
That's like what, ridiculousness. Like we would have to like come up with these segments, and it was like, cats getting scared or whatever, and then you had to come up with a title, and it was like
Yeah.
the 9th time we'd recycled through it. But I just remember having to watch hours of fail compilations to
Yeah.
the point where I would, in the writer's room one time, I just screamed, "I hate this."
Yeah.
Because it was like people dying sometimes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you get
yeah.
a video and you'd be like, all right, he's dead. Like
Yeah.
we're not, that's
Yeah.
a dead guy. We're not doing that one.
Yeah.
I actually filmed. I've done a lot of pilots of shows that tried to just copy a successful show.
Yes.
Like I did a version of Impractical Jokers for Discovery Channel where we gave a tour of the Intrepid, but we didn't have access to the Intrepid, so we gave it from the dock.
Hilarious.
It was like, but it was
great.
awful. It was insane.
That's great.
But I did all those. I did one of those where it was basically Ridiculousness. And it had, low budget. We did it in a small studio. It was fine. But they didn't have any kind of legal screening team or person that checked on the status of these people that were in the videos. So, a large number of them, we watched people lose their life. Yeah. Like me and a live audience together, we were like, yeah.
I guess we didn't get to the end of that clip.
It's just Gaza footage. You're
Yeah.
like, oh,
This next one is
this
called
one get into the
Bombs
batch.
Away.
Just a head rolling down a sand dune.
Yes. Dude, I was on Ridiculousness.
Oh, you were a guest.
Yeah, we did 4 episodes one day. 23 minutes. Rob doesn't like to go over 23.
Oh, wait, you were the girl.
I was because Chanel took like a maternity leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they told all these people, like, we're testing for a new co-host, and then she came back.
Nice.
So everyone
was Carly
on it.
one of those?
She was one of them. I
Yeah.
think it was Carly. There was a couple other people.
Nina Agdal.
Nina, maybe Matt Rife,
Yeah.
as he was like about to blow up.
That's how I met like a lot of rappers. That was the one cool
Rappers,
thing about the show.
Yes.
I met all the
Yeah.
rappers. Met Diplo.
You did.
Diplo.
I'd actually met Danny Brown. I had to remind him that we'd met when I did his podcast last week. But
That's so funny.
yeah, I met him and he actually came to the Comedy Store that night.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I met Post, Mac Miller.
Oh man,
All of them.
That one really got me. I'm very jealous of that.
Yeah.
That's a good one, yeah.
I'm a big
cool.
Mac queef.
Matt Queef.
But they were, I mean, it was like so, because I wrote for it and then I got a Writers Guild job, which was like a real writer's room job. And then I fucked that up and had to go back to Ridiculousness.
Oh
And
my
it was
God.
so ridiculous because
Ridiculousness.
like on a Writers Guild thing, you get like lunch every day.
Yeah.
You like,
You had to crawl back.
they give you a menu. And then like, I remember like putting into the like Starbucks order on Ridiculousness after I'd gone back and they're like, oh, this is actually just for.
Damn, dude.
Sorry.
You were flying Delta 1 and then you got sent back down to
Back to
Southwest.
fucking cargo.
I
Yeah.
got sent back to row 34.
There is there's a Keurig downstairs.
There was a Keurig at craft services.
But there's no more cups.
No cups. But you can try to finagle something.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you do a good job of making the craft services people feel valued on set?
I'm like, hey, what do we got here? Nachos are fire.
Yeah, that's
You're
it.
like, this is great.
You're not
Yeah.
like connecting and talking about
I
their
try
like.
not to be that guy who's like, yeah, you're my best friend. This guy's my best friend.
It's a balance, right? There are people that
don't-
condescend to that where they're
Yeah.
like, you're lower than me, so I'm going to make you friends. We're both friends, though.
You're my
We're
fucking
even.
boy, dude.
Yeah.
Super weird.
I'll definitely let Nick know. And what do you
He's
do?
got good
He's
ideas.
good.
You
I
should be
try
a
to
writer.
Float in. Hey, everybody. I'm
I
like
love
very
that.
natural.
Oh, by the way, somebody
You know.
threw up in my...
Yeah, by the way, it wasn't me. But if you could get in there, that'd be great.
I clog the toilet in my dressing room. So.
Yeah, well, definitely was not me.
Where do you guys film?
To Atlanta.
Atlanta.
First season I was on.
Hotlanta.
Hotlanta.
You
Yeah.
beat me
Hey,
to
turn
it.
up. 85 South.
Black Hollywood.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry.
Have you been on the 85 South podcast?
No, I want to, though. I feel like it'd be fun as
It's
fuck.
so funny
would
because
be
I
white
mean,
people.
this has similar vibes. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. This
Carlos
is very,
and Chico.
Yeah. I'm gonna start
Yeah.
I'm gonna
DC's
start
over there.
doing the craziest act out in the world
Yeah.
of me
Yeah.
just fucking something and then.
And they wear live mics so they can like run around.
Dude, I watch 85 South sometimes. It's so amazing to me how effortlessly they do like the podcast in like stadiums.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is
It
like
looks like their
effortless.
living room, too, and they're the funniest
Effortless.
guys in the most
Funniest guy.
casual way.
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
funniest thing I think is that like less than 1% of American white people know what that show
it
is.
blows my mind.
It's insane.
Is that
What?
true?
Yeah, oh my God,
If if I'm on doing radio, they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Who do you hang out with anyone? I'm like, I love the 85 South guys right over their heads.
Yeah.
But they're like massive.
Massive.
They're massive,
Yeah.
but I
In the
swear to
bla-
God,
in-
if you went to most of the comics in New York and you asked
They
them if they
wouldn't
knew
know.
80, they wouldn't know who
No
it was.
It blows
shit.
my mind. When I first got on Wild and Out, I met all these people I didn't know before. It was like I didn't know DC and
Yeah.
like Pretty V and all these people. And then like when you talk about like who gets on SNL, though that sort of black famous is so not compared to
It's crazy.
these people with like 5, 6, 7 million followers.
Yeah, and they're just as big, but it's just like their audience is just
it's like a
black.
whole different world.
You know?
Do you know what I really admire about that level of comfort to be like living room lounging in front of 6,000 people?
Yeah.
Like that just really truly proves
Plugging
that
your own sweatband.
plugging your own sweatband line.
Yeah.
But that's such a I belong here mentality.
Yeah,
no imposter syndrome whatsoever. Like I've earned every second of this, which they have.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that from like I'm just saying I've never had that feeling.
No.
I've never once.
I've had it, and then I've gone back and been like, oh boy, did I not have it.
I had it for like a day. And I woke up, I was like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
You didn't show up yesterday.
I got stoned at South by Southwest and did like a live episode of the Pete Holmes show, and everybody else on the show killed. And then I was like, we're all supposed to be here. And so I just started talking, and I had the most awkward like closing of the show interview.
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe it. It was telling the story about how I had blacked out in Lake Tahoe, but before I blacked out, I'd met a black guy at a bar, and I went to like an all black high school, all black middle school. And this is not the right thing to do, but I went up to him at the bar and I said, "It's so nice to see a black person." I said that to him. It felt nice in my very drunkenness. I was like, I just kind of doing like a "you're welcome here" kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know it's bad. Don't get me wrong. I knew that was bad the next day when I woke up in jail with that black man.
Hilarious.
We had separated. I'd gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'd gotten in a fist fight. I'd gotten arrested. He
great.
had just been black in Lake Tahoe, and we'd ended up in the same
He
jail
was
cell.
like, He was like, it's so good to see a white person here.
Yeah. And then we started talking about our favorite episodes of 85 South.
Exactly. And on the pod, it went right over them.
Yeah. No, they just thought I was racist.
Yeah. They're
Like
like,
everybody was like, oh. And I was like,
I mean,
do you
that
guys
is
not like
live in the world.
It really bothers me
Yeah.
because I'm like a libtard, but at the same time, like I'm willing to admit that I'm racist
yeah, and
occasionally.
share funny stories like that.
Yeah.
But that's also, those people aren't real anything. Like they're
No.
just terrified
they are.
of exposing
And they're
themselves.
They're great storytellers,
there's
though.
industry in the
something
back.
Oh, I'm not
Room.
even talking about the comics. I'm talking about the audience.
Yeah.
Like the audience there, I have no idea who's on the panel. I think I remember listening to that episode though. But I liked the story. But I think the audience, like people that are like self-righteous about that,
Yes.
or at least weird publicly in their reaction and kind of tend to make like a big show out of being silent, it's because they're completely insecure that their actions don't match their like beliefs.
Yeah,
and their beliefs don't match even their beliefs.
It really speaks to me of not having like a mixed group of friends because
Agreed.
most of my black friends, it's there's at some point in the conversation, it's going to be making fun of me being racist and or me being super white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
And then that's, we joke about it. And then like, if I get roasted too hard, I say, you people are all the same. And then I pretend to walk away.
Yeah, and you grab a black girl's hair. The usual.
Something like that.
Yeah. I feel like those are the kind of people who like miss COVID.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. It's just like so nice to be inside.
I did miss COVID.
You do.
But I don't miss the being inside. I miss nobody being successful.
That's also, there was something nice about that.
Yeah.
Something
We're
nice
all
about
broke.
we're all
We
stuck
all
in the
weren't
mud.
working.
But some people were successful. Some people were
Yeah, some
crushing it.
people really
Some
capitalized.
people use COVID.
How's Sarah Cooper doing?
Good. Book deal. Still hanging out with Natasha Lyons.
How do you write a book with quotes?
Oh.
Is it a Trump book?
I think it's like an Urban Outfitters kind of like.
She was very nice to me.
like-
She's extremely nice, but she was quoting like she
I know.
did karaoke.
No,
to
she'd
Trump's
written a
voice.
couple books before. She
Oh,
got
okay.
famous.
Yeah, she was kind of like
that was
more
her.
like
I think it was like millennial
yeah, like
tech burnout kind of self-helpy books.
how to survive tech if you're a woman.
Yeah, that
You
kind
know,
of
like
thing.
with like little stick figure drawings.
The way you just unfixed your eyes was something I've never seen. They both went in completely
Maddy,
different directions.
I want to take this moment to say I really like the way you move in I don't think we've ever connected, but I really like the way you carry yourself in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really nice.
I love that compliment.
Andy.
It also would stop anybody in their tracks.
I'm
Because I
my
feel like
feet are
you're a
glued to the
very
floor.
genuine person.
I
and,
try to be.
Like I didn't know you at all, but every time I'm like kind of like blown away by your genuineness.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I try to be like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to the crafty thing. I'm not like,
yeah.
I just
Well,
try to
'cause some people,
live
I think,
life,
try to-
go
Yeah.
with the flow, and
Sometimes people try
not
to
to
bit
overdo
too
it.
hard, you know?
Yeah, people be
and then you're
bidding.
like, hey,
Take
could
a
you
chill
could you
pill.
chill out and be real for a second?
Yeah, real
That
for 1
actually might
second.
be my least favorite style of human being.
Yeah,
Is
I wonder sometimes if like like the level to like level up as in your
Right.
Yeah.
career. I don't know if I have that like
I definitely
like,
don't.
get to that.
No.
And you'll meet people who are like up there. And you're nutty.
I always
You are nutty.
Yeah.
I always my wife is very good at the strategy of show business.
Right.
And but like it's so funny because we can be having like just like the biggest fight in the world,
Mhm.
and she can just be like laying into me, and then somebody will call and she'll just be like, "We are just having the best weekend," and I'm like,
It's been good. Yeah.
"What
Shut
the
up.
fuck is
Sit the
happening?"
fucking
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. Yeah, he looks great in the sweater.
That's so bad. Do you know the Rosebud also though has cultivated a voice that allows her to navigate more authentically
Yes.
in those spaces
Yeah.
where like
Yeah.
it actually helps her to
People
say
appreciate
these
her
things.
authenticity,
Yeah, when
yeah.
she's
Yeah.
just like you are a
Yeah.
phony or
Yeah.
this stinks or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's just like she's managed to figure that out and be
Yeah.
herself in those
Yeah.
moments where it's
Yeah, I'm
like
so
if I
envious
say
of-
that people are like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, are
I'm
we-
so envious of
I-
the people
yeah.
that get to be like dry and mean.
Mm,
You know
me
what I
too.
mean? Because that's who I am inside. I just want to tell you how.
Yeah, but you have to
pathetic
show up.
are.
Hi.
Yeah, and I gotta be like, hey, nice to
It's
meet you. This is such. I'm so happy to
cool.
be
yeah,
here.
I've seen some of your stuff.
This is
It's
so
good.
cool.
Great
And then
clips,
they're like,
dude.
"You're a phony."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm.
Should we
dying
stop?
inside.
Should we stop? Should we make a pact right now to just stop being phonies and
Stop
just start
phonies.
being real?
I think we should. I think we. I think I smell success.
Yeah.
And I want to get into it in the right. I don't want to pivot when we get there.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
I want to say that all of you're all frauds.
Yeah.
But one thing I was also thinking that we should make a pact to get gross ripped, like old guy ripped.
Oh, I'm cool
Okay,
with
Do
that.
you
yeah.
want to do that?
Yeah.
I would
Do
do
you wanna get
Yeah.
in on it?
I want to get like old woman, old yoga woman,
You want to be like
Yoga, Pilates,
what's
like
her
Upper
name
East Side
from? I don't
Modern Family.
know.
Oh.
Terminator. What's her
Oh,
name?
yeah.
Linda.
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to
She
get
was-
that kind
I
of
want-
like
yeah.
That's like
Lara
the
Croft.
lesbian with an
Yes.
Australian dog
With
ripped?
like like arms. Is it funny when women get jacked? We just look like malnourished men.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
You look like
The most
I
jacked
think
woman
when
in
you
a
get
spin
jacked,
class.
But Linda
bears
Hamilton
want to
was
have
hot.
sex with you.
yeah.
That was hot. Why was that hot? But then Madonna, when she was dating Alex Rodriguez, I found repulsive.
Because
Right.
I think Linda Hamilton was also like not being glamorous.
Right.
You
yeah,
know, she was
it's like
being
that
like
low key,
Functional.
she was being Santa Fe.
like
you know? She was out
Angelina
there.
Jolie and Tomb Raider.
Fe,
I don't know the
are
reference.
you there?
Um,
First Newsies sing. Andy
wow.
doesn't get it yet.
I'm
Damn.
not.
Sorry,
Rosie
both-
played
sorry,
Newsies the
both
other
of
day.
you.
Are you a Newsies
I don't
person?
know. I never.
I actually hate musicals. Hate them. I love
Hate?
Disney movies now, but I hate.
But do you ever see a
fuck.
musical and you're like, that was pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when people start doing Les Mis or Newsies, I go,
Specifically.
why the fuck are you sing talking?
I'm like,
Why are you sing talking?
and
Sing a song
every
or talk.
day I don't know where you are.
What's that?
I don't know, just like making it up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sing talking. Yeah.
That did sound
I
good though.
see-
Were you in
yeah.
musicals?
Yeah,
In high
so
school?
that's why I'm
Damn
Yeah,
right.
you're good.
I get when I'm on the side of the singers, I'm like,
But I mean, like,
you're being like, but then when I'm not the singers, I'm like, these people suck.
but I think it was like I should have been a drama kid, but then I was also like, that's gay in high school.
Right.
Kind of like I
Yeah.
really wanted to be in drama.
Yeah.
But then I also thought it was gay.
Yeah, you're like peeking out. You're like, fuck.
Um,
Can't join. They're
But
gonna
so
think
then
I'm
when
homo.
I was in musicals.
and so
really,
is Louis
Rockland
J.
County, stand up. How
Yeah.
you doing? This is where we
Yeah.
diverge.
This is where we
Isn't that
connect
interesting? That
again.
I was also I was an athlete and I took it as a challenge to also be in musicals
Yeah.
because I remember when my sister was in high school, they like exiled this one basketball player for wanting to be in
Troy
the
Bolton.
musical. They're like,
High School Musical.
you
Troy Bolton.
can't be gay
Yeah.
and play basketball at the same time. They were like livid, and
Oh,
they
really?
made him pick one, and he actually quit the basketball team
And killed
him.
himself.
And he killed
He
himself.
killed himself. He hung
Murder
himself
suicide.
that night. Yeah.
But I took it as a challenge to be like, all right, I want to see if I could do this. And also, I was, waffling between varsity and JV, so it didn't matter.
Oh yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
did it.
Coach
and,
is like, don't care.
It was great. Yeah, he's like, let
Oh,
this
it's
half
fun
a
as
fruit
fuck.
twinkle toes way
Yeah.
across the stage.
Yeah.
when I
Fact.
went back and I saw Marriage Story, and that he
Yeah.
sings that Sondheim song.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
oh, this is brilliant. So I
Yeah.
went back and I like learned stuff. So it's nice to have hated something and then go
True.
back and you're like, oh
True.
wow, I actually really like
Adam
this.
Driver can really open your eyes.
In
Is
a
he a
lot
good
of ways.
singer?
He was more like
He's decent. Yeah, he's actually pretty good.
It's like
Yeah.
his voice, but singing.
It's his voice.
Yeah.
He
but
walked out of
he's
his
on-
NPR.
baritone
Yeah.
bass
He
vibes.
I actually
walked out of his
appreciate
fresh
that
air
more.
interview because she started playing it.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, she made him stop playing it.
I appreciate though when somebody sounds like themselves because everybody seems to sound like everybody. Like all the music is like between Dua Lipa and every pop star. It's more or less
Over it.
the same thing.
Over
I
it.
mean, you know, I bop my shoulders to it. I twinkle.
I like
Absolutely.
what's her
Fun.
name? The new I'm so Nessie.
Sabrina Carpenter.
No.
Oh,
I'm so fucking kiss.
Yeah, that
And
fucking
what's her
girl.
name? No, it's not Chaperone. It's what's her
Chaperone.
name? Because I'm so fucking. She's British, I think.
She is
Doechii?
British.
I like Doechii
She's
a
I like
lot.
schizophrenic
Doechii.
too.
Let's go.
I like Doechii.
A
Yeah.
schizophrenic Brit.
Did Doechii do well enough?
No,
Schizophrenic.
she just popped.
She's also like a little too alt. I don't know
I
if
think
she
so
would do
too.
it.
Yeah, she'd be at Night
I don't
Train.
think Zach Fox is going to
She'd be at
do
Night
well
Train
in
with
that
Wyatt
either.
Sinek.
She'd be what?
Night Train with Wyatt Sinek.
Oh yeah.
That
yeah.
is such an old deep cut, dude.
But I don't even think she would do that.
So
That's
funny.
like too
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
She'll be at Hannibal's club, new club, the Knitting Factory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good times.
Did
Have
you
you
do
been?
those shows?
No,
You
every,
didn't.
every week the lineup. I'm like, damn. And then
Yeah.
I think I finally did Butterboy, like when it was not even.
Yeah, no,
Cool
I got all
anymore.
those at the
I got
very tail
everything,
end
like, at
when,
the- yeah,
when everybody
and-
stopped showing up.
Me too. I got like Frantic when it was like at the bottom. Like, remember when Frantic was like the best show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then I got
I
it
never
when it was
did
like
it.
dipping. I did it.
I got invited. I used to do all of those like I don't know quarterly or something like that, and then they would like I would have a really good set, and then they would like invite me into the fold, and I would get
Yeah.
to do, and then I would have like a set where I made a joke that was like a little dark.
Yeah, a little off color.
I made this joke like the last time I ever did Butterboy. I made a joke that it was like right after the Ukraine war started,
Mhm.
and I said, "Ukraine war. I mean, say what you want about wars, but like those have to be the hottest refugees. You know, it's just like my Pornhub search history, like
Yeah.
marching across the Polish border."
Yeah.
And this woman screenshotted me, tagged Butterboy, and was like, "I just saw the most racist comic I've ever
Oh my
seen."
God.
And in her mind, it was racist that I wasn't like, all refugees are hot.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I agree.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
Even
That'll
like-
happen.
I would always-
That'll happen at Littlefield.
they would bring me in and then I would reveal my
then you
true
push it.
colors.
Then you
and
push
then they'd
it.
be like, you can't
Yeah, you
actually.
start with observational, then one show, you say one thing. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. They're so scared.
We'll
I'll never
Venmo you.
get to do at midnight.
It's
Well, it's canceled.
I know, but also
But I never was going to
because
either.
the same booker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And she plays hot and cold.
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
She's a huge fan. Then
Yeah,
never.
huge fan. Got
Yeah.
to open for a bunch of people, and then it was like, who the hell are you? Oh my god, this is so random.
Random.
Uh,
Those kind of people, you'll
Yeah.
like, you think they're gonna stay in Brooklyn, and then all of a sudden they're JFL.
There's so many people
fucking-
that I
and you're
saw
like,
that
you
were.
took that job.
Yeah.
Damn it.
There was
I'm
so many
fucked.
annoying like girl that was
Yes.
just the producer of some show at like Arlene's Grocery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you were like, yeah, thanks. Stop emailing me 10 times a week.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
then
now
She's the talent
I'm
for
now
the-
Comedy Central.
I
Yeah.
do
Now they're
development
head of the
at
world.
HBO now.
Yeah.
yeah, and you're not in it
Yeah.
You're not in it,
You didn't
'cause I
flirt
remember.
with me.
You didn't flirt with me. I had a new sundress on
You going to therapy?
Yeah.
How often?
every week.
Nice.
And then I'm like, oh, I think I'm at a point where I can do every other week, and then some shit happens. Where I'm every week
Zoom,
week.
Zoom or in person.
Zoom, but
Zoom.
we've done in person.
Yeah.
I just went back to therapy for the first time in many months. I took it off. I was like, because I was doing like TM, AA, therapy,
Yeah.
fucking all this
What's
shit,
TM?
transcendental meditation.
Okay, yeah,
And then I was like, I'm not going to do anything for a while.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it felt really good not to do anything.
Did you pay for the workshop? You did the whole TM workshop thing
They have a scholarship
Oh,
for white
like
men.
you got a little Pell Grant?
for sober people.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, they had a little sober.
They
but also
covered a
you can
lot of
pay.
it?
I mean, it's like it's pay what you want now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
they got a
have to
bunch
check
of
that
money.
out.
It's good. I like it. I do it once a day.
Were
You're
they
supposed to do it
buoyed by
twice.
Seinfeld's endorsement? Now they're
Yeah.
like, all right, we'll take
I
whatever you
think, it
can
was,
Yeah.
give.
I think David Lynch basically put all of his money into like,
That's
everything
awesome.
he ever made, which couldn't have made that much money because it's David
Yeah.
Lynch
Yeah,
films. But
enough though.
yeah,
I just watched some clip of one of his actors saying that he finished a take of something in a David Lynch movie, and he turned to just see what he thought of it, and he was gone, and the set was silent. And he was like, "What's happening?" The director's assistant came over and was like, "David's in a TM. I'll get you notes in a moment."
Yeah.
And then she came over, handed him notes. She said, "David wrote a new scene for you."
Yeah.
And he was like, "I understood the character in a way that I didn't in what I had just filmed." It was this entire clarification moment where he was just off meditating, and then it
Cut
gave
to the
me-
most insane scene you've ever seen in your life.
It's like blood bazookaing out of a
blood
flower.
bazooka, and a guy's like
cut off the
reading
ear.
the Bible, and then he's like standing in a corner.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I love watching him like freak out on people.
My therapist, though, the other day told me I was off-putting. I thought that was
Really?
pretty-
Really?
That's nice.
Damn. Was
Wow,
it something
very
you
truthful.
said or?
No, he said I talk and I don't make
Nicole.
eye contact.
Okay.
But are you an eye contact person?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Maddie makes it also.
I
This
I literally was like, why are we like, you expect me to just keep the eye contact the whole time we're talking? Like,
Yeah.
an
Right.
hour of eye contact.
It's a
And
lot.
he was
I
like,
make eye contact too, but that's because my parents screamed at me if
If
I
you didn't
didn't
look at-
maintain
look at
eye
me.
contact. Yeah.
Look at me.
It was a huge
Yeah.
thing with adults, coaches. Like
Yeah.
anytime
You're supposed to hold it
somebody-
the whole time, though.
hold it the whole time.
That's so insane. to
and
me.
I was like, this feels.
Where are you going to look at to be
Right.
safe?
Yeah, I was like, maybe that's why I have like all the molested things, like all
Yeah.
the kind of, but it's
Right.
just intimate eye contact.
Eyes, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
nobody
you got
touched
molested.
my dick, but
Right.
they touched my soul
Yeah,
dick.
they did.
Yeah.
And it's
Through your
fucked me
eyes.
forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll look at the lips.
Oh, that's a
You
good
know what
one.
I mean?
That's a good
They
one.
don't know. What
The
I'm
lips.
looking
I like
Yeah.
looking at the 11s. That's a
Mhm.
big one for me.
Mhm.
I'll kind of
Oh,
and I'll
yeah.
I'll switch between eyes, but I feel like people can always tell that because I can tell.
Yeah, because then your eyes
Yeah.
are moving.
Yeah,
back
you're
and
just doing
forth.
camera 1,
Yeah.
camera 2, and
Yeah.
they're like, "What's wrong with my
Yeah.
fucking face?"
Yeah, I just I have to go here or here. I like to tell the story or the conversation kind of.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? You know.
And your
Yeah,
therapist during the thing was just like, "Did you know that you are off-putting?"
Yeah.
Well, I was just complaining about like I was like, how have I tried so hard? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, did all this self improvement.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, for starters, you're not very. You're not making eye contact.
Yeah.
Do you think about how the way people perceive you? And I
Yeah,
was like,
if you want to talk about, I've been listening to a lot of Rob Dyrdek,
Yeah.
so I think
oh, nice.
you're not
yeah.
putting it out there.
The Prodigy or with the Prophet. That's his like
Yeah.
cohort.
This is a
Yeah.
brand new therapist.
it was
but
your
I-
first time seeing him?
Second.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is so fucking funny that he was like, "Well, for starters,
Yeah.
you don't make eye contact and you smell."
And then I'm curious
Like,
to see
what?
your act.
I liked it actually. Rosebud was very defensive when I relayed that to her. She was like, "He said what
I'll
about you?"
kill him.
Basically.
Yeah.
But then I liked the frankness because I'm sick of being mollycoddled. You know, I'm
There
sick
is
of like
a lot of,
I'm sick of like, all right, well, engage the child and
Yeah.
where does it hurt? And all
What
that
does
stuff.
Molly
Right.
coddled mean specifically?
you
just-
know.
I know
Baby.
what coddled means,
Goo-goo.
but Molly.
I think it's Irish. You're coddling an Irish girl.
Yeah.
A little, yeah, I thought
Yeah.
you just took a tab of ecstasy and then coddled a baby. And
No, I wish.
Mollycoddling.
Rub it
I'd
into
probably
a
get there
blanket.
quicker.
Yeah, I do
No,
get
because I've done therapy for years. That's like the baby in you is hurt.
Yes.
So go and take
Let's
care
go
of the
back
baby.
to what happened in 97.
And then we hit things and we say, "Mama, no,
Yeah.
Mama, no,"
Yeah.
and then
Heal
you
yourself.
cry. and
Hug
then-
yourself, hold yourself.
Do you know what really makes me not excited about getting back in? But I know I'm going to, and I'm looking actively. So if you know somebody,
Yeah. I know
But,
a guy.
Yeah, we.
he wouldn't take me. I sent him a tape. He said no.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
man.
good. Sorry, we're
It was-
full.
It was my Kill Tony audition.
It's
But
Jeff
Yeah.
Singer's
Competition,
transition
yeah.
into- you have to- Jeff Singer's the therapist
Same
now.
fedora.
It's
You were
so weird.
good.
Women are getting a lot of appointments.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, women are funny too.
Sorry. What were we talking about?
I don't
Therapy?
remember.
You were going
Oh, you
back.
were gonna go
You were
back.
going
Yeah.
back.
Oh yeah, I really don't want to start at episode 1, season 1. You
I
know,
know.
I
I hate
really
that.
You
You
should
don't.
be able
You
to
gotta
like almost
transfer
like
the
a
files
medical
over.
thing
A
with
medical
X-rays and
record.
shit. You should be able to
Yeah.
go. Here's
Like,
the damage.
yes.
Let's not go over this.
Start with where we were. I don't want to open up. You know, my mom and my dad.
I love talking about myself. It's one of my greatest joys.
Yeah.
But it really does suck when you're just like, Fuck.
Yeah, because it's like me doing
Agreed.
redoing the pilot over and over
Yeah.
again.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's like okay, I got
And I'm gonna
molested
punch
in a
it
body
up.
cast.
Yes.
You're telling me to tell the same story fucking 5 times,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna make it better
At all.
and embellish?
At all. Yeah.
Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah.
I'm an
Yeah,
entertainer.
and then he goes, and I say to him, "Wow, this is a
Whoa,
lot."
That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Well, we're at
And then a
time.
mall Santa sucked me off in a Walmart.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I
Really?
think we should do
No.
2 sessions a week.
I had a therapist one time. I have a joke about it. She had like a nervous breakdown while we were working together, and the last appointment we had,
Like
she was
mid-appointment?
I showed up to an appointment and she was very volatile.
She was just
She was
shaking
like
her head in the
yelling at
mirror.
me and shit.
Okay.
No shit.
Yeah, like
Damn.
telling me that I needed to break up with this girlfriend. She was right about that.
Yeah, yeah.
But she also told me I needed to go to like rehab for depression, kind of. Like,
Okay.
Like she was like, you need to go and like check in somewhere and
Yeah.
deal with this. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like I live in New York. I had a full-time job at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I was
What
like,
do you do when your
Yeah.
therapist yells at you?
I called
Did you
my
yell
sister
back?
because I was just like, all right, this is something's
You
going
left.
on.
Yeah, something's
Oh,
up.
I sat through the appointment and I was like, sure.
Did you
yeah.
ever see her again?
No.
Over.
But I went to my sister and I was like, hey, this happened. What do you think? And she was like, no. My sister's therapist.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
She was like, that should never happen.
Right.
And so I just wrote her an email. Hey, it's been nice. Thanks. I'm not going to see you anymore. And then she tried to keep on getting me to do a decompression final. I
Yeah.
was like, are you kidding me?
Exit
For
interview.
what?
Yeah.
Maybe she wanted to bang.
She was elderly woman.
So.
Yeah. Old bitch
as
as
if,
fuck.
As if they don't need it.
This is back when I was broke and I had to do like those like pay what you can
Yep.
kind of
Yeah.
sliding
Yeah.
scale.
old lady
Been
therapy.
there.
Yeah.
Been there.
We've
I've
all
had a
been there.
lot of therapists. Now I'm with one. I've had her for like almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling solid.
That's great.
Normal.
You seem solid.
Before one was like I was on state insurance. She
Mhm.
sucked.
Yeah.
We'd be 15 minutes in and she'd be like, okay, so it sounds like you're good.
I had a therapist.
She'd like kick me off.
I had a therapist that was like that. Like I tried to just go like I fired my old therapist and I tried to go straight to just like who's on my
Yeah,
network kind
yeah.
of thing. And I got to this guy. He was like in Midtown in like a co-working space. And he was like this old kind of heavyset dude that like just all he cared about was the Yankees. Like he just had Yankees paraphernalia, and his office was a mess. And he had like an EMDR machine like just set up in the corner, and he was like, "If you want to do it, we can like try it out," kind of thing. And then I was like, "Hey, it's not going to work out." And he was like, "Who is this?" In the text message, I was like, "Hey, it's been nice." And he was like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "Andy." And he goes, "I thought so." And I was like,
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
All right, dude.
Wow.
He's like, I
Wait,
had
but-
a feeling.
Wow.
"Yours
you'd
tried
be
to get off
firing me."
early."
Yeah, she would end like 10, 15 minutes in. She'd be yawning. She'd be complaining about her husband.
That's awesome.
Her Instagram was like a Minions picture.
That's awesome.
Oh, she was like,
It was her Finsta.
yeah, Finsta. She was very like millennial. Like when I got married, Maddie, like I said, fuck it, I'm wearing Converse.
Yeah. Cool.
She wore like her wedding photos were like everyone lifting up their
Oh
to
my
show the
God.
Converse.
That's
That was-
insane.
I'm
that
like, oh,
was
you're
her
not really my
rebellious
type of.
moment
Yeah, I'm
that-
like,
yeah,
she's
she
like,
fought back
I
for it.
wanted to be and I danced all night. I'm like, wow, that's so good for you.
Yeah.
My thoughts on the therapy thing are I've been doing therapy since I was probably 5 or 6 on and off, and I'm 42 now, and I just don't know if we're going to get to the next level.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think we might maintain,
Yeah.
but I
I
don't
don't
think there's a
know.
breakthrough.
It's like an arcade game where you're like, is there another level?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
is this just kind of a whole ruse to get me to
Do I
keep
want to
pumping
be
Agreed.
quarters into
Metroid
this
or
thing?
do I want
Yeah.
to just
Yeah. That's the thing is, so I have a couple beliefs here. Is one, I think that like therapists should have term limits. Like you should literally have like a 4-year
That's a
limit
good
on
idea.
a
Agreed.
therapist.
Yeah.
And that's why you should be able to pass on your file from one to the next
Yeah.
and be like, this is my fucking origin story. Read the Cliff
Yeah.
Notes.
There's got to be a
This is what this
therapist
person
watching.
did.
If you're a therapist,
Yeah.
can we get this so that we don't have to
Yeah.
like retell all our fucking stories
Yep.
to you
Yeah.
You agreed with
lunatics?
the term
And,
limit.
and then also, and this is probably dangerous, but I do think like AI therapy is perfectly fine. Like I'm more
I actually did that recently.
really,
Really?
like
I typed in a thing to Gemini, just
Mhm.
like, "Hey, this keeps happening. What should I do?" And it was like even nice.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you got to stop beating yourself.
Andy,
And I was like,
come
what
on.
the fuck do you know about it?
And you can say that.
Yeah.
And that's how you can be honest and authentic.
True.
And you also aren't like plugged into something who is a fallible human being whose like way of life relies on you being fucked up. I know I
True.
sound
Yeah.
Irish right now, like super fucking Irish, but that shit, like,
You're getting conspiratorial.
But it does. Like, dude, the way it got with my old
this isn't why the
therapist.
Jets lost.
Yeah, and it all goes
The way
back
it
to
got
mental
with
health.
My old therapist is by the end of it, I was like, we're just saying the same thing every week, and every week
coming
you're
up with
also getting
something.
like dumber.
Yeah.
And you're also like, I had this moment where his belief system wouldn't allow him to acknowledge something that I said, like where he was an NA guy, so he couldn't acknowledge like a drug on any level benefiting, which I said like mushrooms had helped me expand this part and go beyond cynicism of my Irish Catholic upbringing and blah, blah, blah. And he looked at me and was just like, nope.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
He's like, no, it didn't. And I was
As a
like,
sober
okay.
person
You're
who
an
can never
addict.
Yeah, I was like, sure.
You're addicted to mushrooms.
As a sober person who can never do drugs again and thinks drugs are kind of bad, I do think that hallucinogens are like so beneficial.
Yeah, they
Agreed.
can be. They also can be the
I actually don't
beginning
think
of the end.
But I also don't think I don't think anybody who abuses hallucinogens is actually enjoying them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't think like those people I met that do like mushrooms 4 times a week, it's like that's not like
Yeah.
you know.
There's something else going on there, but
Yeah.
I've had friends tip the scale, like it being the key that unlocked a dormant mental illness that
Yes,
came
yes,
from
absolutely.
Totally,
like
but that's see what I
Ghostbusters
mean?
Yeah,
too.
Like
for
they,
sure.
they
Yeah.
weren't enjoying it.
But they
Yeah.
were initially, like, or at least I mean, on the surface, we were having a good time.
Yeah.
That's because
I
I
was
was like,
with
Then they
them.
could- yeah.
you were walking them right to the edge.
I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast.
I was like, we're both stopping before the edge, right?
Yeah.
And they fucking squirrel suit right off.
My last therapist, the thing that I got frustrated with is I tried to write a joke about this. So if you ever hear me say it again, please don't think I'm a hack.
Wow, he's running bits on us.
Why would that be bad? Should we run bits with Frank?
No.
Come on, let's do bits.
Let's do a segment.
I
Running
always-
bits.
I always do
bits,
that.
Bits,
I'm always like, I have this in my set.
Yeah,
Just
Can we do a
if you
graphic?
see my clip.
if you think I do it.
Yeah.
But she would be like, you know, like I said it was like she would like she was my mechanic,
Mhm.
and she would be like, your carburetor is so fucked up,
Mhm.
and I'd be like, okay, well, can you help me work on my carburetor? And she's like, you're gonna have to find the carburetor
Yeah,
and fix
it's
it
up to you.
and keep
up to
driving.
you.
And I'd be like, you know where the carburetor is. Just get me to the carburetor,
Oh.
bitch.
You know where
You know?
it is.
I do know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
you're just
do
like,
know.
I
Yeah.
don't want, they're just like, if you only could just get yourself to access your carburetor, you would be able to make your car run
I
smooth.
don't know where it
Yeah.
is.
Buddy.
Anyways.
Boy, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's all bullshit,
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be
but I
like,
am going to make the eye contact.
yep, here we go right now.
I'm working on
Look
it.
at that.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's the worst. Have you ever
Yeah.
met the person that like clearly has been told they don't make enough eye contact, so their entire
They're trying.
Right
Yeah,
here, buddy.
exactly. I mean, and then
The
they have
new
like
Andy.
Tom
Yeah.
Cruise
Yeah.
focus on
That's
your
right.
eyes, and
Yeah.
you're like, dude,
That's
for the
great.
love
Yeah.
of God, you're giving me like anxiety
Yeah.
through osmosis.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started taking an amino acid. It's really working like.
What does that do?
It feels like
showing.
Adderall. Yeah.
It's showing.
You can feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're buzzing.
L-tyrosol.
Mhm.
Tyrosol.
Yeah.
And what do you
L-tyrosol.
put that in a drink
Oh,
or
it's a
so
something?
it's
pill.
Spanish.
Little pill.
No.
L-tyrosol.
Dude.
L-theanine.
Andy just goes,
Bienvenidos
no.
a la
No.
noche. I was like, what?
No.
I
Fucking
didn't get it right away. I'm such a
idiot.
shithead. No, Mike. It's not Spanish.
Stupid. So that's like a supplement. You guys take supplements or?
I mean, I take edibles.
Yeah.
I genuinely, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to be cute.
You're a drug addict.
I know, and I told Nicole I
Yeah.
thought you thought that also. But I take a multi. I
Mhm.
take L-theanine, and I
Mhm.
take
yeah.
Spanish.
I take Lyons mane.
That's a
Good
good one. I
one.
take that.
Yeah,
I take a
for
mushroom
energy.
compound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Chaga.
I take
reishi.
one other.
Chaga,
Oh,
chaga,
vitamin
chaga.
D.
That's a good
I
one.
take that too.
Especially in the winter.
Vitamin D with
Yep.
calcium.
Yeah,
I'll do a prenatal.
I'm telling
Vitamin.
you, rock the L-tyrosol. L-tyrosol. You'll feel it. Feels
Oh,
like
shit.
you got like fucking flashlights
Here's
behind
the
your
thing,
eyes.
dude.
Nice.
I'm matcha'd up again.
I gotta
the
love a matcha. Gotta love a
Chronicles
matcha.
of Riddick.
Yeah.
That's how much matcha
Return.
does that got you? That
I'm
little amount?
fucking freaking
Gotta
out.
love a matcha.
I can drink 7 of those.
It's crazy,
and I'll be
dude. I could
just
do
the same.
I used to do, I could do a line of Coke and literally fall asleep.
Mhm.
And coffee and caffeine affect me as if
Mhm.
I'm a newborn.
Mhm.
It's unbelievable.
That
Like
was
it
a good-
poisons my body.
That was a
Mhm.
good David Cross joke, which David Cross doesn't the stand-up really hasn't translated to long term, so you don't
Yeah.
really quote a lot of cross bits. But he had this one about how he used to do like Coke, hand him a pill, and then he like turned 40, and now it's like if you gave him like Benadryl, he'd be like, "How many milligrams does the bottle
Yeah.
say?" You know?
I don't know about this. I want to have a good day tomorrow. Dude, I like a matcha.
You're a match.
I like a matcha.
How early are you? Are you first thing caffeine in the morning?
So I take Vyvanse. So
Oh, okay.
I try not to mix all that because
Smart.
then it just, has me energized to the point where all I do is want to sleep.
That's what
Vyvanse
the
is the
title
real
says.
one. That's like the one that you could tell you actually want to focus
Yes.
and not that you're just want to do a methamphetamine.
Agreed. Adderall has got a little too much of an edge for me.
It's
I
dude,
took it for a
It's
while.
like, it's in.
and I think I said it on the show before, but I took it as prescribed, and then by
Yeah.
the weekend I would be in like the 9th circle of hell,
Yeah.
fighting
Yeah.
every fucking demon
Yeah.
with one chopstick.
It's
it
a
was
lot.
a fucking
It's a lot.
nightmare.
All of the
Yeah.
things I always am like, I'm not gonna, like they're like cool it on the coffee, and
Mhm.
I can't cool it on the coffee. I
Mhm.
actually prefer the coffee over the Adderall.
I like a coffee. I'll drink a decaf even because I like
Yeah, I do that at night.
But I was talking to my psychiatrist and I said, I'm trying to go easy on the coffee because of the Vyvanse. And he's like, whatever you need to do. I have a patient who said he used to drink 16 cups a day. Now he's down to 4. So,
16 cups.
16
a day?
cups.
I there was a time where I thought I drank a lot of coffee, and then I was listening to these ESPN anchors like flippantly just kind of say, I have 20, 25 cups of coffee. a
Yeah,
day."
yeah,
Like, what the
yeah.
fuck are you talking
How are you
about?
that energy though? That's so insane. To be like, hey, there's on the 9th.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're 25 cups deep.
I
Yeah.
think that's actual alphas. Like actual alphas can take caffeines and
Caffeines, yeah.
distribute the milligrams
Mhm.
individually through their body evenly so they don't freak out, and they're just like fingertips get 10%.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
just all the way through.
Yeah, they fill out their
distribute.
suit.
One
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
when I was like 12 or 13, I was like an early druggie. There was this thing where if you took a bunch of Dramamine,
Mm-hmm.
you would pass out and then wake up fucked up. And I did that. I was like
Is
12
that
or
the patch?
no, it's motion sickness
Yeah,
medicine.
for like nausea.
Oh, okay.
And I took a bunch and then I passed out. And then the next day I had to go on vacation with my friend's family. And I was, and I was so fucked up that I said in my 13-year-old mind, I said, I'll just take no dose.
Yeah.
I'll just take a bunch of no dose and that'll make me feel better.
No-dos?
Oh,
Caffeine.
no.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
You supercharged.
but I
Yeah.
literally did not break. It was insane to be 12 and 13, like that fucked up, like have the Dramamine rocking me this way and then the no-dose rocking me that way and just sitting in a VW Vanagon, like on the way into Central Washington being like, the world is spinning right now, but I will not let them know.
I'm
That's
normal.
unreal.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
you were the star from Mario Kart. You were like, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
Exactly.
dun, dun,
Rainbow
but
Road.
sitting
I just
Yeah.
held it. And my friend it was his family, he was he got real serious. He became like a whole, like fields of marijuana drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Owned multiple houses where it grew and shit like that. And he's died. He had a heart condition. But one time we were car prowling and trying to check if car doors were open and then you steal stuff out of them. He went into a glove box and he was like, look, it's a flare. And it was an EpiPen and he just stabbed himself accidentally. And
Oh my God.
that's like pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And he was like, I think I'm fucked up. And I was like, yeah, what should we do? And he's like, I'll just go home. And apparently was Leo in Wolf of Wall Street
Yeah.
in the Lamborghini,
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
get to his
Oh
front
my
door type
God.
of shit.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Did you get when did you start getting fucked up?
I started getting fucked up middle of high school. It was just like me. We would be like, me and my girls would be at vacation house of one of them. And
I'm honestly surprised.
Buffalo,
it wasn't earlier,
Rochester,
though.
I forgot.
I know.
Buffalo. Because
I know.
that's like a cultural thing.
People
to be
were
like
drinking.
middle
Would you guys
school.
go to
middle
Niagara?
school kids. A couple of my friends got like fake IDs over the border.
Yeah.
Never did that. It was more like in my friends' houses with like Grey Goose,
Yeah.
peppermint schnapps.
Yeah.
Started smoking weed like right before college. Then in college, I just started blacking out like 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Same.
0 to 60.
Geneseo, too.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at
we went
us.
to the same college.
Yeah,
Oh,
years
yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
Do you not drink anymore?
So I don't drink.
Yeah.
I'm about a year off.
Do you smoke?
Took long. Yeah. But when I stopped drinking, I started smoking like all the time. So then a few months ago, I had to pull back on that too.
That's
I was
good.
smoking. I was high like all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
did
it
that for
was- it gave
when I
me-
quit drinking. I smoked weed.
That's kind
morning
of
to night.
Crazy.
kind of like
It's
a
great.
norm, right? Then
Pretty
one day I
normal.
was like,
Nobody
I'm,
was.
I'm smoking
Nobody
too much.
else was worried about it.
Yeah,
That's
no
the
one was
thing. I was
worried.
fantasizing, faking my own death and moving to Mexico.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had like plans. I was like, I'll park at the PCH.
Yeah.
I'll leave a
Walk
note,
over.
and then I'll just walk down the coast.
You'll never see me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I still make it in stand up. It's just in Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hola.
I'm just like Sabado Gigante. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of
Different
it.
Or
route.
Tom Segura.
Soy el tiracín.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the same college, and where we went, it was like you get fucked up every night.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing
Like,
to do.
yeah.
I mean, there's like
You've told me
1.5
some stories.
Yeah.
habitable months
Yeah.
per year.
It's
at
up.
that
Yeah.
school.
It's like between Rochester and
In Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah, and it's
Oh,
off
that's
the
a-
lake too, so it's like got
Yeah.
this crazy winter effect
Yeah.
where
You get like
I-
6 feet of snow in
Yeah.
a night. type of
out of
thing.
nowhere.
Wind like crazy.
And they also, I'm sure it was the same for you, but like they never would cancel classes because they just assume
Never.
everybody was up there and prepared.
Yeah.
Like everybody was just, they grew up in that.
like once a
Did
semester.
you guys have the thing where kids would black out and freeze to death?
Yes. Well, we had
that
this.
happened in your.
We didn't have a freeze to death, but we had. Were you at the college when that guy died and everything changed?
Yes. No, I wasn't, but I heard that was right after I left.
Yes.
And then there was a murder after that.
Yes. After I graduated, there was a murder suicide.
Yeah.
A
Whoa.
Yeah.
girl was dating a guy, and he was a townie.
Mm-hmm.
She broke up with him.
Townies
Yeah.
do that.
And she
Yeah.
started
Never
dating-
trust a townie.
Don't date a
Yeah.
townie.
No,
What are you
especially there. The town bar there
Oh.
was Kelly's, and
Oh.
the floor was
Ooh.
sawdust.
Yes.
Gross.
Yeah.
It was fucking
And
bonkers.
he killed her and the guy she was dating and himself in the lacrosse house or something like that.
Yeah. I used to go to
Yeah.
that house
Yeah.
all the
A little
time.
greenhouse.
That's
all the
wild.
time.
The
Yeah.
little
I actually
cross house.
hallucinated in that house because my friend threw up in my bed, like when we were pre-gaming, and he just like turned and threw up all over
Gross.
my bed.
Yeah.
And as like, I'm sorry, he cleaned my sheets and gave me a joint. And this was
Yeah.
before I smoked anything. And I
Yeah.
smoked a joint to my face
By
at
yourself?
this party. And because I was like, yeah, we're getting fucked
Yeah,
up. And then,
let's
like,
go.
then out of nowhere, this guy who, I mean, he was 14 feet tall, if an inch. He
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
big. He was screaming about a fight he just got into. And I started shivering and breaking into a cold sweat.
Yeah.
And then everything turned into like a green and red filter, like the Rodney Dangerfield scene in Natural Born Killers.
Oh, yeah.
It was just this creepy fucking, and I kept feeling like everybody was just there to fuck with me.
Right.
And I eventually ran. I ran.
Out of
Love
the house
that.
you ran.
I ran out of the yard.
I love a
and
fucked up runner.
And I was like I think I ran all the way through the campus, past my dorm, through the women's soccer field, down to the softball field,
Mhm. Wow.
which was like a mile
That's
and a
a
half
lot,
of
Yeah.
just
I bet you
sheer
if we go
sprint.
to
Yeah.
any college town in the United States, and probably the world, but any college town, if we went there this Saturday, we could find a drunk guy running.
Absolutely.
There will be a drunk
Yeah.
guy running in
Go
every single
tonight.
college town. Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be a guy, he's at a party, he's either smoked weed and he doesn't smoke weed and he's really
Yeah,
drunk.
He's just running.
Or he did something embarrassing while he was
Yeah.
drunk and everybody's mad at him. Whatever it is, there's a guy.
Sometimes you just run. Like I started running once in college for no reason, and I fell in a gravel pit.
Oh,
How far?
I was running. It was next to the bar, the in between bar.
yeah. Oh my
Bunch
god.
of gravels. Fell on my knee,
Oh.
and my friend Carl was getting me home, and the cops stopped us,
Oh,
and
he
they
probably
saw that I was
thought-
bleeding out, and they were
Oh,
like, "All
no.
right, get home safe."
Yeah.
They didn't
I don't
try.
wanna deal with
They
this
just want to make
shit.
sure he wasn't
Yeah,
raping
was she
me.
mouthy, fella? Get her home.
Yeah. We should separate. Like Gabby Petito. We should separate you guys.
Crazy.
What did you do? I didn't watch that documentary. What did you do?
You know what I did? We went back to the dorms. Huge dorm building, like 600 kids live there.
Jesus.
And the people on my floor who were back at the building, they like huddled around me. They were like, "Get Maddie in the you know how one of the bathrooms always has a bathtub for the
Yeah.
handicapped person that does not exist." So they threw me in the
They're
bathtub,
fake.
and we're like, "We're good." And then the RA came in. he heard the hustle and bustle.
Hullabaloo.
And when the RAs see like they have to write it up.
Yeah.
So I got written up. They took me to the hospital.
For your just
For
scratches?
me, they gave me like 2 stitches. My knee. I was
Jesus.
in the stretcher, like, yeah, I'm sick as fuck. You want to hear something crazy? I wrote for the newspaper.
Yeah.
And I wrote an article about this guy who was like big Geneseo guy on campus. He was like worked for the first responders. He was like a biology major, and he was the guy who was manning my stretcher.
Really?
And I said,
Wow.
"Did you like the article?" He was like, "Yeah, Maddie, it was great. We're gonna need you to settle down." So fucked.
Nice.
And then you had to go to this alcohol 101.
Yeah, yeah.
I did that.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you do the program where you would
Yes.
have to fill in how many
Online,
drinks?
yeah.
Dude, I killed me.
Yeah.
So they would have a virtual you, and you'd have
Yeah.
to like honestly assess how many drinks you would have before going out.
And they said you killed
And
your avatar?
my avatar died like before we left my dorm.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like, you
Yeah.
gotta
When I
rerun
got
Did
this.
you guys ever have to do the mothers, like, did you either you get a DUI ever?
No.
I never got DUI. No.
Almost.
DUIs you almost always have to go do like mothers of drunk driving.
Mhm.
Like
Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
you had to do like a
Mad.
panel where it was like a mom who'd lost a kid either to a
Oh
drunk
my
driver
God.
or their kid was the drunk driver.
Yeah.
Pretty gnarly.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
asked
gnarly.
my mom recently because I had this like flash of a memory from first grade, and it was like one of my first CYO games. I think I was 7 years old,
Mhm.
and before the game,
You were high on coke.
I was
High.
blasted.
High.
Dugout doing lines.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we got to make this fucking count. There's a scout
Fine.
here. God damn
the
it.
dugout
Yeah,
in a
scout.
basketball game.
Little League Scout.
Oh, it was basketball.
Yeah.
I thought,
Oh, okay.
So before this game, I like had this flash memory. I was like, Mom, was there like crying parents at a game telling us like never drive drunk when we were 7? And she was like, yeah, before your first ever CYO game, they like had this long speech of one of their teammates just got killed by a drunk driver, and their parents went over and individually hugged every single kid and were
Oh.
like hysterically crying, telling all of us never to drive drunk in our entire
Don't
lives.
do it.
And I like now,
meanwhile, you
Third-
drove very drunk.
Yeah,
for
all
a
the time.
period of time.
Do you guys mind if I pee quickly?
No, please do.
No.
How long are we?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, pee and then we'll dismount.
All right.
Look at, I didn't even realize, dude. We are
We're
so,
doing it again.
I mean,
We're connected.
sneakers,
We always do it
Sneakers.
blue.
gray.
Yeah.
This is
We're in
crazy.
tune. We're
We-
synced.
We really are. We went
Like
to
two
the
broads in a sorority house.
we went to the bathhouse and it just deepened, Nicole.
Did he tell you
our
we went to the
connection.
bathhouse?
He did. I can't wait to hear how that went for you guys.
It was actually pretty uneventful.
Yeah, we were just
Yeah.
chilling for the most part. Oh, I do have some stories about it though. One
Okay.
of the actually, I'll just tell it now since it was so short. We went in this one sauna that I think it's the hottest one, but in the middle of it, there's like this fountain of
Oh,
apparently
yeah. That's the hottest one.
freshest New York.
Oh, the guy.
The guy.
Yeah.
This guy that was just
He was
out
like
of
trying to
central
facilitate.
casting,
Yeah.
but out of central casting New York of like, nah, this is the best water you've ever had. You don't
He
even
kept on
understand.
trying to get people to drink the water. It was
Out
in
of a
these
bucket.
buckets, like plastic buckets too, not like wood sauna buckets, just these. And they use them they fill them up and they throw them at people when they're done getting the, what's it called?
the like
Platza.
Yeah.
Like getting the beating and the scrubbing and all that stretching shit, whatever the Russian thing is.
Well, and they're like,
Beating.
it's also water that's like
They beat you with
coming out of
olive
a
leaves.
crack in the wall.
Oh.
Like it's not
just like out
it
of a
doesn't look
spigot, yeah.
sippable.
But he's like, drink the water. And this other Russian guy is just like, what are you talking about, dude? And he's like, drink it. And the guy's like, I'm good. And he's
Yeah.
like, all right, well, I drink the water.
He
Look
was
at me.
pounding the water. He also was like reaching over me with like a giant nude stomach and like reaching around me and like sticking his armpit in my nose.
He kept it.
Oh, Bert Kreischer?
And they, oh no! But remember that at one point he threw the water at somebody and it just hit me.
This is my favorite thing that I've ever watched in my entire life. You're short selling it.
Yeah.
Because he's just like being so obnoxious, like, no, just splash it. Come on, here. And then he gets a full bucket and he like goes to throw it at his friend, but he throws all 18 gallons in Andy's face. And
But
he's
it's like
just
140 degrees in there. It's so hot that you don't. I mean, literally, you could pour like an ice bucket challenge on me, and you'd be like fine in a second. It's so fucking hot.
Where?
It was
Hot yoga?
awesome.
Or-
Russian Turkish baths.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah, it was
heard they're
pretty
filled
fun.
with
Have you been there?
I heard they're filled with mold.
That's the one in Brooklyn. The one in Brooklyn just got
And I'm sure there's some
got
mold
shut
in there,
down.
but the
never
main
been.
thing it's filled with is Thursday
Cum.
nights cum
Yeah.
because it's a gay
Is it-
sex
is-
party on
Oh,
Thursday.
okay, yeah. It's all co-ed, or I don't really
Thirsty
like
It's
Thursday.
co-ed.
co-ed most of the week.
I don't like co-ed spaces with bathing
I like to
suits.
go on a day
Right.
far away from Thursday, where
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of bleach has been thrown around.
Yeah. Maybe Monday.
I went on
Tuesday.
Thursday.
Monday
I've
afternoon.
talked about this, but I went
Yeah.
on Thursday accidentally one
Yeah.
time because I didn't know.
Right.
I thought, yeah, it's just the bros.
Right.
The bros are
Yeah.
hanging
It
out.
was.
The bros.
It
And then I got in the
was.
steam room, and they were, boy, were they hanging out.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
And were you like? Do you go naked?
It's
on
probably
those,
an
or-
ideal anal sex place.
Yeah. Nice.
Pretty
With,
lubricated.
Yeah.
with just
Yeah.
everything.
No,
as
I
wet
was
as
not
it'll
naked.
ever
I
be.
had the shorts on, but
Right, yeah.
everybody else was naked, and I
Yeah.
did see the biggest cock I've ever seen in
Really?
my life. Oh my
White
god,
Bigger than the
white
White
guy.
Lotus,
Really?
Dad?
About that size.
That's crazy. Have you seen?
Yeah. Prosthetic.
Was it?
I only know because I did morning news in DC, and they were like, and they did right before it. They were like, and it was actually a prosthetic on White Lotus. That's Kate.
I think he actually probably
Segment
said that
before
just
me.
to stop the questions.
I know, right?
Dude, I
Yeah.
think that
really
guy's
is
got it
fucking
like that.
dong.
Yeah.
That was Draco Malfoy's dad.
Yeah.
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 How do you
Good.
feel
That was
about a
good.
giant cock?
You know, it's threatening.
Yeah.
Threatening. It's disarming for
You're
sure.
not a size queen.
No, I like a nice regular.
Just
I
a
like
regular.
A boyfriend
proportion-
dick.
A men's
yeah.
regular.
Boyfriend dick.
That's
Um,
good.
Like
I like-
regular.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
too big. You're like, come on.
Too big, I would assume, is kind of just like a fun time for a weekend. And then you go back
I
and
think
you
those
ice
guys-
pack.
Guys with giant dicks are the same thing as young women who get giant boobs at a young age, where it's just like it becomes their entire identity, and they're just kind of burdened by it eventually.
Yeah.
In that, like,
Yeah.
Well, it's
This is
similar to
all I
being
am.
it's similar to being tall but not making the NBA.
yeah.
It's like if
Yeah.
you have a big dick and you do nothing with your dick and you're
Yeah.
just like a guy, like what's the point
You're
of having
doing
a
the
big
sexual
dick?
equivalent of playing in Latvia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone, oh, you're so tall, your dick is so big. That's all I get.
Yeah. Your blood flow is terrible.
Yeah. Fall over when you get a boner.
We have to wrap this up pretty soon. What's going on with you?
Dude, nothing. I'm on.
We had so much fun on your podcast,
that was
by the
so
way.
Yeah,
Thanks
awesome.
for
thank you
having
Yeah, I
us.
had a great
and thank you
time.
for doing this.
Shout
too.
out Gas Digital. Shout
Yeah.
out Lewis and Zach, RIP.
Yeah.
Oh, they died?
Their show's over.
Oh.
Their show's over.
So
Zach
many-
in the mornings, though.
so
I don't
many
think that's what
memories.
it's called, but that's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's a great
calling
name.
it. Zach
Great
in the
name.
mornings.
Great name. Well, you guys can catch me on the road. Does this come out next week?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
man.
it? Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think we don't have any in the can right now.
No,
do we?
no can.
Okay, cool.
So this will be
Unlike
next week. Where are you going to be?
Thursday.
If you on Thursday, if you guys live in New York, I'm at City Winery Thursday, April 17th.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Fucking
Come to that.
Philly Helium, April 30th.
Sick.
Maddie is a
then-
beast of a stand up too.
Yeah,
so
come
fucking
out.
funny.
Shows are
Just
always
to
good.
Put her over if you're
Shows are always
unfamiliar.
good. That's
She's
all. It's the only thing I
so
have.
good live.
And later, fucking Tulsa, Oklahoma City, MaddySmithComedy.com.
Yeah.
Come on out. Yeah, so
Cool.
Maddie Smith on the medias.
Cool.
You smiled with eye contact.
Yeah.
You are really
That was
working
good.
on
Yeah,
it.
I'm working on
very
it.
charming.
That was good.
Yeah.
Very charming.
Trying to-
It did look like you pulled a lever and
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
went up at the same
It is.
time.
It's everything's coming together. I'm gonna get seamless at it pretty soon. It's like a guy that has to play one of those pianos with. That's being me. As
Yeah.
you know, the pianos
Yeah.
that have like the whistles and all that stuff. It's like
Yeah.
smile, make eye contact.
Yeah.
Remember to ask them about themselves. Keep on looking in the eye. You know, that's my entire
Yeah.
life. I'm piloting a dead robot. I'm gonna be in Dallas at the
Nice.
Yes.
Dallas Comedy Club.
Yes.
And I think my wife's gonna pop on those shows. So if you're a fan of Rosebud, you get to see a little Rosebud. And then I'll be at the Vail Comedy Festival, Bottle Rocket in Baltimore. Then I got a bunch of stuff coming up this summer, but I don't know what it is.
That sounds fun.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Toronto, April 19th. I'll be at the Comedy Bar. 2 shows. Come on out. Tickets are slowly getting out there.
Yeah.
Like
Danforth?
comedy.com. Huh?
Danforth or Bloor?
I don't know.
Get Danforth a random.
I'm not
It's
sure.
just a little
But
out there.
I bet it's
damn, I didn't
Danforth.
Yeah.
realize there was a difference. But either way,
It's all
come out
good.
to that.
Both great rooms. Great rooms.
April
great.
21st, Maddie's going to be on
Yeah.
this show. It's my
Stoner show.
420, a day late. I get it because we're weed
Stoner
and it's
show.
lazy. At New York Comedy Club. Nicole is going to be there.
Why
on
aren't you doing it on
122s.
Sunday?
Sunday's
Huh?
Easter, I think.
Because
right?
it's Easter. It's the Lord's
420.
Day, and also I'm flying home from Toronto.
Yeah, so fuck that.
That's mostly why. But
I mean, you'll have
so
such jet lag from
those
that.
tickets are
It's a
gonna
45-minute flight.
go. Yeah, sponsored by Village Sensations. I love that place. They're the best.
Let's go. See you there.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole, you want to plug anything?
Nicole Lyons Productions on Instagram and follow at Beautiful Boys Pod. On
Yeah, we're
Instagram.
almost to monetization.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's get there. We're gonna
Let's
make
go.
$7 next month.
I can't
go.
wait.
Help us get there.
What is monetization? 10K or?
One.
Yeah, 10.
Oh, yeah.
What's 1K?
1K. Let's go.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's 10.
10K.
We're almost
That's
there.
great.
They can check.
Yeah. Peace.